Phoenixes out there. Welcome to Free Create Fridays. Tonight we're going to try something a little different, and I'm going to come to you more like an episode than as a live. So just testing it out, just seeing how it works. As always, we're going to start off with a little bit of dance and stretch time, just so that we can get our creative juices flowing. As we've talked about many times before, moving the body, even just getting up and stretching, really helps get that blood circulating, really helps get it going up into your brain so you can get those ideas flowing, get that intuition going. And really, I just absolutely love it, just to get up off the couch for a few minutes and be able to stretch your body and really just feel, I mean, even that is just relieving and healthful in and of itself. So I really encourage you to follow along with me as we're going to stretch and do, a few little dancey, stretchy things here. And just follow along the best that you can. I promise that you will feel so much better after you stretch. Before you get into doing a project, the project will move so much smoother. You will feel like your mental will be so much clearer. You'll absolutely love it. So follow along as best you can. I've got some lovely Egyptian music kind of going on in the background, and we're just going to stretch here for about maybe less than 3 minutes, and then we'll get started. Beautiful, fantastic, lovely. So just a quick stretch just to get us going. I've heard so many of the spiritual and yogic masters really say that our body is meant to bend forward and bend back and to the side. So if literally you don't do anything else every day, but just bend forward, bend back a little bit, as comfortable as you can without hurting yourself. Please do not hurt yourself. And just a little bit back and forth to decide that will really just a few minutes of that a day will really vastly improve your health, because that's the way our bodies are naturally meant to function. And because we live such sedentary lives today, that's very important that we get those kind of movements in our body every day. So I'm just going to blip you here, and then we'll pull right on over to our lighted canvas. Very excited to bring that to you all this evening. I can't wait. I've got it set up for you in steps here. This is going to be really fast. You're going to really love it. You can make a million of these. Like I said, I found frames at the dollar store and was able to use those instead of canvas, which of course you can still use canvas if you would like to, but I really found that those dollar store frames, those picture frames, they really work quite well. And they're just so cheap. You just, how can you resist? So I'll bring you on down here and we will get started. All right, okay everyone, here we are. We are at my craft table. As you can see, it is got this nice little bit of plastic on it, which is just a regular old folding table with some of this on it. Really, that's all I've done to create a craft and artistic table. I've set it up here, as you can see, just in here, you know, wherever you can find space, because sometimes God bless it, you just have to do it where you find space. And that includes me too. So this is just a folding table, just your regular old plastic folding table with some drop cloth over it, just so that we don't get paint and glue and glitter and all kinds of craziness, the things that we do around here all over it. So we're just going to bring you on down here, because I know a couple of you were asking, it's like, Daniela, how do you create a craft space to make stuff? You got to make it up sometimes. Even I have to make it up. There are shelves underneath here. There are shelves underneath here that I store a lot of my supplies on, and I also store a lot of supplies in there too. So here we go. Come on down. Come on down. As you can see, we've got our frame here that you will recognize from the little tutorial supply list. And we are just going to open her up. If you would like to do this with the canvas, you are absolutely welcome to do it with the canvas. I just know that canvas can sometimes be a little expensive, but Michaels does sell canvas in multi-packs, and that is a great way to get your canvas and not spend a lot of money. If you also, there are times where they'll have them on sale. So if you would like to do a canvas, all you're going to want to do is get one here. This was just your regular old canvas, and I painted it black. You can paint it white if it's not already white. This one happened to not be white. But if you would like to paint it white, you can if it's not already. But I would. I've been painting mine black because we've been doing lighted things on the back of these. But you can paint it white just like I did here with our prototype and the moon and stars. So it really. This project is so great because it is absolutely, the sky's the limit. I mean, this has even got gray, darker gray, and black. So really the sky is the limit, whatever you want. There were so many of these examples on Pinterest that I just could not help myself. So you're going to take your frame. We've already taken it out of the plastic. And you're just going to pull up the tabs here, if I don't hurt myself doing that. And you're going to take everything out. And just put this aside. You also want to make sure that you've bent all of these tabs back, because that is going to allow you to put it back in later. So you can save the glass or discard it. You know, I've used these for those little window things that catches the light that you can paint on with the puffy paint and stuff. That's really cool. I like to do that with those. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, so we've got this is just the cardboard back that came straight out of the frame. This is the coolest thing about this. I could not believe that it worked so well. So we've got our black paint here. We've got some gray mixed up in here. If you know, whatever you like, really whatever you like. I like to give it a background so that whatever image that you have stands out. As you can see, we've got a close to a finished product over here that you will get to see me work on a little bit later. But here is step by step. So here you are with a plain old back, and whatever color you choose. I've got some black here and some white put out onto, this is just a bit of parchment paper, either parchment paper or your wax kitchen paper. You know, if you've got, it's actually this. It is actually this, a piece of this. If you want to go out and buy this, feel free. If you don't, that's okay. Like I said, you can use the wax kitchen paper. It's basically the same thing. It's just disposable palette paper instead of having to clean a palette every single time. But if you want to clean the palette, by all means, acrylic paint is not the super best thing to be putting down our drains, but hey, you know. So I've put out a little bit of black here, and I've put out a little bit of white here. And we are just, or you could actually, what I'm going to do is show you is you can take the black and just drizzle it straight on, which I love to do because I'm a messy painter. And you're literally just going to do this. If you want to wear gloves, you can. Acrylic paint is not very toxic at all. It's not toxic at all, actually, not very. It is not toxic at all. And it will just wash off with soap and water from your skin. So all you're going to want to do is get you a nice base coat here. Depending on the kind of paint that you have at home and how thickly you put it on, all kinds of varying factors will depend on whether or not you need 2 coats as opposed to just the one. It looks like today we're going to be able to get away with just the one, but as you can see, just painted straight onto there. So while this dries, we're going to move on to the next step. Just going to put a little buddy aside here to let him dry. And of course, I will finish up this whole project and the whole process and put everything together at the end and take photos for you and upload them tomorrow so that you can see. So here we are with one that's already dry. As you can see, it's not shiny anymore. Ta-da! And don't worry about these little like bolts almost that you see in there. Don't worry about those, because once you paint onto it and you put lights, nobody will see it but you. Nobody will know that it's even there. So I always like to have a tissue paper or a rag around just to sort of wipe the wet media off of things so that I don't spread it everywhere, because paint really, really, really loves to spread. Worse than glitter, just as bad. So what we've got here is a little paintbrush, just a little paintbrush there. This one is a 1.5 inch. You can see, boop, 1.5 inch, and then this is that's your 2-inch brush. So for this one, I use the 2-inch brush. For these little ones, because they're only, as you can see, they're only 4x6. I use the 1.5 inch. Just it's a little easier to maneuver with. These chip brushes come in a set. I don't see the package of mine sitting around here, but I do have a package of them. You can get these at Lowe's. You can get these almost anywhere. I would suggest getting your chip brushes at a home improvement store as opposed to a craft store, because there are some things that craft stores just mark up just for the fact that, like weddings and like babies, they just having that trigger word on their craft, or, it instantly marks it up. So definitely, be resourceful and get your supplies where you can. So as you can see, I've got black all over the back of this. Anyway. Boop. So you may recognize this from one of our DIYs. This is that bit of sponge that I cut out of the soap sponge tutorial. This is like that bit that I chunked out. And so I just cut it up into little pieces. And that is great for doing stuff like this. I absolutely love sponges. So anytime you get sponges, whether they look like this, you want to make sure that they kind of have holes. The more natural ones are definitely going to be your best friend, but these poly ones will definitely work in a pinch. So save them. So here we are with a nice ready to go one. And we're going to paint our image. So as you can see, I'm going to be doing that really pretty dandelion seed little trio here going on. So I'm just going to continue on. And for this one, I just took the brush and went whoop, just whoop, a couple of times, whoop, whoop. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because indeed, when you leave variation in your strokes, that actually automatically gives you depth without having to do a lot of technique. So very much the Bob Ross technique of the happy painter. I really learned a lot from that sort of, that not only the wet on wet technique, but the mentality of like there are no accidents. Everything is, everything is a happy accident. So that is how I did that. So we are going to continue on, and I'm going to use my little spongy sponge and just dip into the paint here. And this is where you can get fun. So I like to just dip it off a little bit over here onto our paper, just to get a little bit of excess off. And because this one will flow from this one, I'm going to sit them next to one another and just kind of let that begin to trail off. Just like this. And I know it doesn't look like much just yet, and that's okay. Oddly enough, painting a lot of times does not come together until the very last second. So you've got something that looks like this, and you can take your brush, and you can just put a little of those like little seedlings in there. Little seedlings floating around. You can buy packs of these craft brushes anywhere. Of course, now I don't see my pack of brushes sitting just around me. I kind of tried to tidy up so that you would get a better view of what I was doing here. Oh, you just keep on little seedlings here and there. And you want it to be a little random, I myself had a very hard time with learning how to do random and asymmetrical art, because I have that natural tendency to want to make everything symmetrical. But nature is not always 100% symmetrical. So definitely want to give it a little bit of that variation. So this is literally all we're going to do, is just paint like a little base image. That's what I did here. It took me 5 minutes to paint this moon and these stars with this brush. So it really, it can go very, very quickly for you. And acrylic is a great paint. I mean, this the sponging is already starting to dry on this, which is fabulous. So we're just going to move on here to our next step. So as this dries, once it dries, you have to make sure that each of these steps dry completely in between. Because if you were to take this one that was still shiny wet and try and paint that beautiful white crispness onto it, it would just muddy it up. It would just absolutely just ruin your whole, I wouldn't say ruin, but it would definitely make you have a bad artistic day. So for things like this where you want high contrast, you definitely want to make sure that each phase is dry before you add on top of it. So simply all we're going to do now is take our scissors and our little frame. We've got our box of lights here, and this one actually, I forget what size it is. I want to say it's close to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about, let's see, a 5 by, or a 6 by 6, 11. So 6 by 11-ish, 6 by 12-ish. Almost all 50 lights went on here. It's crazy. I was able to make 48 holes. So you'll notice it looks a little funky. There's like a lot going on in the back here, but you will never know if you just lean it up. I like to leave a little bit trailing because that gives you a little bit more leeway when you go to plug it in. If you go and you find an LED strip that has a battery pack on it, all the better. Anything you can find, because this project is really, it's not meant to break your bank. This is the kind of stuff that I love to do, that you can find and use extra stuff that you have around the house. If you've got extra Christmas lights that have been sitting in the box for 3 million years and you've never used them, bust them out. Bust them out. And of course, like I said, now is a fantastic time to be looking for lights for this project, because they're all on sale. I got this box of 50 for less than $1.50, and that box of 100 multicolored for $1.70. Could not believe it. Absolutely highway robbery. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make small holes. You definitely want to almost underdo it at first. It will take a minute or, like a hole or two to sort of get acclimatized to the process, but you definitely want to make sure that you make the hole smaller than you think it will be. Because when you make the hole smaller, you will be able to push that light through because it's got this nice little, bring it up to show you. It's got a nice little tip on there. And so that will actually help push it through and make it the size of the light, as opposed to making it the size of the light to begin with and then it warbling around. Because on some of these, in fact, on some of these ones that I did on here, they're too big. And so you'll see that like the lights just push right out. Some of them do and some of them don't. See, like that one just pushed right out. So you definitely want to underdo it. So begin wherever you like. Really, wherever you like. You want to make sure that they're not too close to the edges because of course the frame has to go back on it. And as you can see here, there's a little bit of an edge to the inside of the frame. So you want to make sure that you don't get so close to that edge that your hole, your light's going to be trying to come out through the same area. So you just want to do a little bit. As you can see, I'm barely poking it through. Barely at all. Barely at all. And made a very small hole. Very small. Not even the size of the light. And we're just going to go around and do this. And make your little holes. I would suggest pushing from the front to the back. In this case, because of the cardboard, if you push back to front, see how it's showing a lot of the cardboard there? You don't want that to be in your image. You want that to be towards the back. And you're just going to take this here. Just keep on keeping on. Keep on making holes. And of course, you want to try and miss all these studs and things in the back because that will not function very well. I want to say that this is, part of the project that takes the longest. You also want to make sure you don't stab yourself to death with that finger. I'm so used to, as a seamstress by trade, I'm so used to using my fingers as my eyes that they don't feel it anymore. But as you can see, so I'm just working my way through. So you get a little bit of right there. I mean, and you can see how small these holes are. So you just want to do this for, in this case, I'm doing it on every little, one of these little forks of the seed. Little forks of the seed. And I'm going to put one here in the middle. And then as for this one, because it's a triptych, I'm going to, as each of these panels dry, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to poke holes and it's going to flow throughout all 3 images. It's going to be really, really cool and I cannot wait to show you all the finished product. Whoop. All right, so once you've got your holes poked, maybe you see that, there you are, holes poked, holes poked. You are going to start with the, I would suggest beginning with the female end, which is the end that does not have the plug on it. This is the male end. If you don't know, as you might imagine, this would be the male end and this would be the female end. You're going to want to start with the female end because the male end you want to leave free so that you can plug it into stuff. Like I said, if you were able to find ones with batteries, hallelujah. They are out there and I know that you can get them right now. So you just want to push them through, just like that. The cardboard is a little soft, so you just want to, you don't want to manhandle it too bad, but you just want to work them in gently. And you're going to work your way around the whole canvas. Okay, here we are. Here we are. I've poked most of them through, as you can see. Now it's going to look a little messy back there. Don't worry, that's just part of the project. So you're going to put them through the holes just like so. just like that. And then you'll end up with all of these here, as you can see. Got all these lights. And then you're gonna put it back in the frame. So you get a little frame right here, and you're literally just going to put her back in the frame. As you can see, I've got some of these lights that are almost a little too close to the edge, so you might have to finagle them a little bit. And you're just simply gonna turn it over. And I know you can't see this because the lights are in the way, but you're just gonna push down those little pegs again to hold the back in place. And then magic happens. I'm gonna come over here to my extension cord that I've brought over here so I could show you. Bring my little extension cord. Whoop. Bring my extension cord on around here. All right. And let there be light. So, as you can see, there is our little lighted thing. Our little dandelion seeds. When you unplug it, it looks really cool on its own. So then what's going to happen is then this one is going to be next to it with a frame, with the holes poked in and the lights, and then the next one again. And so it's just going to trail off with lights, with their own, because I love doing triptychs and things like that, where there's three images that are independently, separately images on their own, but then when they come together, they create a fourth image that is a composition of the whole of all of them together, which I absolutely love doing that. So, ta-da! And then this will follow along the same exact idea as we go and do all the holes in this one. And when this little backing dries here, I will do the exact same thing. And then I will make sure to take pictures of it and post it in the group. So this is how easy it can be to make your own lighted canvas. And again, if you want to use the canvas, please do. It is the exact same technique. You can paint on it whatever you like. You can paint words. You can paint designs and images. I've seen skylines done, and they do like the lights along the edges of the buildings. I mean, that looks really pretty. The options are endless, really, when you let your intuition and your creativity flow. And this is one of those things that I absolutely love to do. Projects like this, because people like to say, oh, DIY is not that crafty, it's not very artistic. Is that not artistic? To my mind, I don't understand those who like to make that separation. So I like to make sure that it is all inclusive. So here we are. Here is the little example. And I will continue on with this one and that one as that dries. And I will make sure to send you photos and post them in the group. And I would love to see your photos of your lighted canvas. This is so quick and easy. Literally, we've been here less than half an hour. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Acrylic paint takes hardly any time to dry at all. This is 100% dry. 100% dry already. And we have barely, and I barely painted the white on here, less than 10 minutes ago. I love it. So please let me know how you like it. Let me know if you've tried it out and post pictures of all of your projects and stuff. I really encourage you all to do that because it allows you to get inspiration, to give inspiration to your fellow Phoenixes, as well as to receive celebration and admiration for your artistic abilities, and to encourage you to continue on the path. Because I know all too well what it feels like to be the artistic dark sheep, the black sheep of the family, the weird one, and to not have those instincts and abilities and leanings, to not have them fostered and encouraged and celebrated at all, because it's like, how the hell is that going to make money? Well, sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes it's about soothing your soul. It's way more important. So thank you all for joining me this evening. I'm going to bring you on back up here. So again, thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I had a fabulous time showing you this wonderful little project. I had such a fun time with this. I could do a million of these. I literally am going to go out to the dollar store, I think tomorrow, and back to Walmart to get some more lights so I can make a few of these to send them away as gifts, because these are great gifts. And if you are able to get these lights while they are on sale now, after Christmas, you will have so many Christmas presents already ready and done at the first of the year. Won't even have to think about it later. Absolutely fabulous. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. This has been Daniela of Redesign Your Life here at Free Create Fridays doing our lighted canvas. And I will see you all in the group. I hope you have a fabulous weekend.